Crowning Your Flaws: The Radical Power of Imperfect Leadership. What if I told you the very thing you're trying to hide is actually your greatest superpower? The scar you're covering, the accent you're softening, the body you're shrinking, the story you're sanitizing. That's your crown, and you've been treating it like a curse. I recently had the extraordinary privilege of interviewing Dr. Keever Lernise Murdaugh, a force of nature who's redefining what it means to lead with authenticity. As Mrs. Plus America 2023 and Miss Plus World North America 2025, she's not just wearing crowns, she's completely reimagining what it means to reign. Dr. Keever has become a beacon for women everywhere, particularly Black women, showing them that their perceived imperfections are actually their greatest strengths. Her work has transformed countless lives, creating ripples of authentic leadership that are changing boardrooms, communities, and industries across the nation. Our conversation left me shaken, stirred, and completely recalibrated because here's what became crystal clear. We've been sold a dangerous lie that perfection is the prerequisite for power. It's not, it never was. The most influential women I know, the ones truly changing the game, aren't the ones who've eliminated their flaws. They're the ones who've learned to wear them like jewelry. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you looked at your perceived weaknesses and thought, this is actually my competitive advantage? When did you last celebrate the very thing that makes you stand out instead of trying to blend in? For most of us, the answer is never. We've been conditioned to believe that success requires smoothing our edges, code switching our voices, shrinking our presence, and sanitizing our stories. Especially as Black women, we're told explicitly and implicitly that our natural selves are somehow too much, too loud, too emotional, too different. But what if we've been playing the wrong game entirely? Consider Tabitha Brown. For years, Hollywood rejected her because of her Southern accent and unique personality. She faced chronic illness, financial hardship, and constant doors slammed in her face because she didn't fit the traditional mold. What changed her trajectory wasn't finally conforming, it was finally embracing. One day, while battling illness, she recorded herself eating a vegan sandwich at Whole Foods, just being her authentic self, accent intact, vulnerabilities exposed. That single moment of radical authenticity launched her into becoming a viral sensation, landing major brand deals, publishing best selling books, and hosting TV shows. Time magazine named her one of the most influential people of 2021, not because she finally fixed herself, but because she finally freed herself. As Dr. Keever shared with me, the myth of perfection holds too many women back from stepping into their purpose. When you own your story, scars and all, you unlock a level of authenticity and leadership that can't be faked or replicated. This isn't just inspirational fluff. This is strategic wisdom. In a world drowning in carefully curated personas and polished presentations, authenticity cuts through the noise like nothing else. It creates connection, it builds trust, it inspires loyalty, and it gives others permission to show up as themselves too. Dr. Keever's own journey embodies this truth. She faced significant stigma around plus size pageantry and battled imposter syndrome as she stepped into leadership roles traditionally reserved for those fitting narrow beauty standards. But instead of waiting until she fit someone else's mold, she leaned into faith driven confidence coaching and used her platform, Keever's Place podcast, to amplify stories about resilience over perfectionism. The result? She won national titles against the odds, authored Imperfectly Fierce and Focused, and created mentorship programs helping hundreds reclaim their self worth through authenticity. You don't have to wait to be whole to start, she told me. Healing is a journey, not a prerequisite for impact. You can lead, serve, and thrive right in the midst of your brokenness. Let that sink in for a moment. How many dreams have you put on hold until you felt ready? How many ideas have you buried because you didn't feel qualified enough, healed enough, perfect enough? The second radical truth I learned from Dr. Keever is that waiting until you feel ready only delays your destiny. Boldness comes from moving forward despite fear or imperfection. This reminds me of Bazoma St. John, another phenomenal example Dr. Keever highlighted. As an acclaimed marketing executive who rose to become Netflix's CMO and Uber's CBO, Bazoma navigated male dominated tech spaces where being both black and female meant standing out doubly with scrutiny over every move. Her response wasn't to dim her light. She refused code switching or minimizing her personality. Instead, she leveraged storytelling rooted in honesty, even about grief after losing loved ones publicly. She didn't wait until her life was perfectly put together to lead. She led while putting her life back together, and that vulnerability became her strength. Bozoma rose rapidly through the ranks at Apple Music, Uber, and Netflix by building teams inspired by courage over conformity. She was named to Forbes' most influential CMO list multiple times and launched diversity initiatives that shifted company cultures globally. Her example emboldens other Black professionals, especially women, to see imperfection not just as acceptable, but as essential fuel for innovation and growth. Authenticity is your superpower, Dr. Keever emphasized. The sooner you stop hiding behind shame or comparison and start showing up as yourself, the sooner you'll inspire others and yourself to live fiercely focused lives full of purpose and passion. I want to pause here and acknowledge something important. This isn't easy. Being authentic when the world has punished your authenticity before takes tremendous courage. Showing up as yourself when you've been told that self isn't enough requires radical self love. But here's what I know for sure after my conversation with Dr. Keever: the alternative is far more painful. Living a half life, hiding your brilliance, shrinking your presence, and that's the real tragedy. As Dr. Maya Angelou wisely said, there is no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside you. Your story, with all its messy chapters, plot twists, and unresolved tensions, is your greatest gift to the world, not despite the imperfections, but because of them. Think about it. When you read a book or watch a movie, are you drawn to the flawless characters? No, you're drawn to the complicated ones, the ones who struggle, fail, get back up, and transform, the ones whose journeys mirror your own. The same is true in leadership in life. We don't follow perfect people, we follow authentic ones. Dr. Keever shared something profound that I can't stop thinking about. She said, even broken crowns still shine brightly enough to light someone else's path forward. Your brokenness isn't disqualifying you from your purpose, it's actually qualifying you for it. This isn't just feel good philosophy, it's practical leadership strategy. When you lead with authenticity, you conserve energy, no more exhausting yourself maintaining a facade. You attract your true tribe. The people who resonate with the real you become your most loyal supporters. You innovate more freely. Authenticity fuels creativity because you're not wasting mental bandwidth on impression management. You build deeper trust. People can sense authenticity and they naturally trust it more than perfection. You create psychological safety for others. Your vulnerability gives permission for others to bring their full selves too. So here's my challenge to you, inspired directly by my conversation with Dr. Keever Murdaugh. Write down one flaw or setback you've been hiding behind. Then take one bold step this week that embraces it instead. Share your story online. Speak up in a meeting using your real voice, accent, and style. Use what you've been hiding as fuel rather than shame. Because here's the truth: your imperfections aren't just acceptable, they're essential. They're not just forgivable, they're valuable. They're not just your story, they're your superpower. As Dr. Keever so powerfully demonstrated, you don't need to wait until you're healed to help others. You don't need to be perfect to be powerful. You don't need to have it all figured out to start figuring it out. The world doesn't need more perfect leaders. It needs more authentic ones. Leaders who show us that it's possible to be both broken and brilliant, both vulnerable and victorious, both soft and strong leaders like you. So today I'm asking you to make a radical choice, to reject the lie that you need to be fixed before you can be effective, to embrace the truth that your unique voice, with all its cracks and quirks, is exactly what someone needs to hear. I'm asking you to pick up that crown you've been hiding. Yes, the one with the dents and scratches, the one that doesn't quite fit the way you thought it should, the one that's uniquely and perfectly yours. Put it on, not tomorrow, when you've lost the weight, gotten the degree, healed the wound, or fixed the flaw. Put it on today, right now, in this moment, because somewhere someone is waiting for exactly what you have to offer. Someone needs to see your courage to find their own. Someone needs your story to make sense of theirs. And every day you wait is the day that person continues to struggle alone. So wear your crown proudly. Let its imperfections catch the light. Let its uniqueness turn heads. Let its authenticity change lives, starting with your own. The world is waiting for the unfiltered, unedited, unapologetic you, not the perfect version you've been killing yourself trying to become. Just you, exactly as you are. And trust me when I say that's more than enough. That's everything.